Because I believe very, very strongly, not just women, but women and men, that we can change the world, that one person can do a lot to change the world. I'm really glad to be here to talk about a couple of things that I hope that you're aware of, a couple of opportunities for change, a little bit about that word compassion, because the award that I just received had to do with compassion, and I have to tell you the truth, and that is that if I had to put a label, if I were to ask these daughters of mine what word they would use to describe me, I can tell you it would not be compassion. Persistence. Persistence with compassion, right? I think they're talking about aggressive and pushy, but it's that word, right? It's that... It's that word that, haunts us. That's exactly who we are. We get the job done, but then we have this stigma, right? If it's a guy, he can be absolutely aggressive. If it's a woman, if it's a guy, he can ask for a pay increase, and I want to talk a little bit about gender pay equity today. If it's a guy, but if it's a woman, all of a sudden she's greedy, she's pushy, she's not assertive, she's aggressive, and she's somebody we don't want to be with. And on that score, how do you all describe the attributes of a family man? Is there a word for family woman? What I'm saying is our vocabulary doesn't even have a word that says family woman. One of the things that I fight very hard for in this country is to remind all of you powerful people that democracy is fragile. Democracy is fragile, and what we enjoy here in our country needs you to support it, each of you and every one of your families, because no matter what the crises are that I can talk about today, or that you wake up and you read in the paper, and all the international issues that seem impossible to solve, the one thing I can tell you is something you already know, that this is a country of wonder. But when you step outside this country, it is not the land of opportunity that you would hope it would be. Unfree in this land of the free are over 100,000 U.S. citizens in slavery in this country today. That's a minimal figure. The estimate is it could be up to 250,000 men, women, and children who are literally enslaved in our country as U.S. citizens. Tens of thousands of human beings trafficked into this country across our borders, in addition to those who are U.S. citizens. So when I speak to you about 100,000 U.S. citizens, let me speak to you about the face of slavery in this country. And I use that word because that is what we are talking about, the face of modern-day slavery. The most profitable crime, both organized and individual, the most profitable crime, other than drugs, on the planet. Small wonder that it is increasing in huge force in front of our very eyes, but we don't see it. Why is it the most profitable crime in the world, other than drugs? Inventory. Why? Because you can sell a gun one time, and you can sell that hit on drugs one time. You can sell this little girl that you have captured. You could rape her 20 to 30 times a day for the rest of her life, as long as she's your captive. She's very profitable. She won't live that long, because in order to endure what you're doing to her, she will become addicted, because in a sense you will addict her. And she won't live more than 7 years. That's average. Well, there's so many other faces. There's the short order cook who came from the Philippines, all right, for a job, and then they stopped paying him. There are the people who clean office buildings at night, and there are the women who come from the Ukraine to clean your house. 4 of them show up. They're very nice women. They don't speak English. They get out of a van. They clean your house in 2 hours. You think it's fabulous, and it turns out that they clean 7 other houses that day, 7 days a week, and they're locked in a house. But the people who got them the visa to come here, they're holding their visa here in the United States. Those people know where they live. So what I say to you on this issue is, powerful women, you have a couple of jobs. You need to get this message out to everybody you talk to. There should be not a woman or a man that doesn't hear that we have slavery in our country, and then when they say, what can I do about it? One, they can pass this message along because it's extremely important. Two, I'm talking to every employer in America, you. You can put a message in your employment manual. If you are a large corporation, Google, right? Then you put a message on your training program where every employee has to check in once a year and click on. And this is the message. But if it's a written employment manual, put it near the page that says paid time off so your employees will take a look at it. Right. Funny but true. All it needs to say, 3 pages, give me 3 pages. 1, slavery is alive, it's here. Slavery, modern day slavery, is in our city. 2, these are 15 ways, and we will provide them to you, 15 ways to identify victims. If you see anything like this, page 3, call the Polaris hotline, not the ABA hotline. We're using one hotline internationally now, the Polaris hotline, 888-3737. 888. Call it, and we are saying on this page, make a mistake. We don't care if you call 100 times and you're wrong, because Polaris knows the questions to ask you. Polaris knows the law enforcement people to call in your neighborhood. We're not asking you, definitely not, because this is in many cases organized crime. We're not asking you to make an intervention because that little girl or boy will be picked up and bussed out. We're asking you to call the hotline. So, you want to do something simple to start with? A notice, American Bar Association /trafficking will get you in touch with me and those who will give you that kind of notice to post, but it's that simple.